Heavy rainfall has really been impacting central and northern areas of Luzon over the past 24 to 48 hours, especially along the west coast. We have been seeing this onshore flow with a area of low pressure that is trying to develop. Separately, we do have a tropical storm moving over Japan, by the way. I have a separate video on that discussing and breaking that down, but I'll talk a little bit later on in this update about it if you are curious. Maybe you don't want to click to a different video. But first, let's talk about the Philippines here, because we may not have a tropical storm, but boy, we have tropical storm-esque rainfall, especially across region 1, that's northwestern Luzon, and continuing to see that precip just push on shore here and really bringing heavy precip for the northwest coast. And let's take a look at this. So we had a bit of a low try to develop east. By the way, this is all kind of sitting on top of this trough, which has been lingering. It's brought that heavy rainfall for the Manila area this past week, all that flooding you've been seeing for some time. Well, this trough is lifted towards the north. Good news for Manila, bad news for the west coast, Pangasinan, Ilocos, over towards even into Isabela, into the Cagayan Valley. You've been seeing that heavy rainfall. And you see here, so we have those two lows. Here's the one towards the north and east. Here's the one towards the north and west. And both have just been enhancing that instability, creating heavy showers. And still going to see that here on Friday over towards Saturday. In fact, if we bounce over to Pegasus outlook here, this is for the 24-hour rainfall. They have those heavy rainfall expectations, 50 to 100 millimeters in Zambales, Pangasinan. And then if you look out towards the through tomorrow, that is the 5th, we're still going to be looking at heavy rainfall all across the west coast, Pangasinan, La Union, even over towards Ilocos, Abra, basically the west of the Cordillera Mountains here. You're going to be looking at that heavy precip add up, which at times definitely could create that risk of flooding. So there is a for sure potential for that rain risk. Now, Friday and the Saturday, still looking at this onshore flow. But the good news is that as this low develops, bad news for Hong Kong, and by the way, Southeast China. But the good news for the Philippines, it does start to pull that moisture away by Monday and into Tuesday, with drastically improving conditions on the backside of it. And we can see that here with our rainfall outlook. We're going to have the heaviest precip in northwestern Luzon due to that continued inflow from this. Some spots, when this is all said and done over the next 5 days, across La Union into Ilocos and Abra, could see an additional 2 to maybe 300 millimeters of precipitation. Across the Cagayan Valley, still afternoon showers are possible, but definitely the heaviest is going to be on the west coast there. So that's the big thing I'm going to be looking at over the course of the next about 48 hours here in the Philippines. Is it a full-on typhoon? No. Is it going to bring destructive typhoon winds? No. Is it going to bring heavy rainfall? Yes, that could be impacting things like travel, especially if you're going across the mountains. Baguio, you're going to be looking at heavy precip, 100% as we start off, end up the week and start off the weekend here before those conditions gradually do improve out. But look at the Saturday and Sunday in the Baguio higher elevations. Definitely seeing the precip here with slightly cooler temperatures into the lower 20s there for your highs. Looking at the broader picture, we got a lot of waves out there. Of course, our tropical storm Pepa moving away from Japan, but by Sunday and Monday, this next low pushing out towards Hong Kong, definitely kicking up the seas there in the West Philippine Sea. For anybody that's a surfer, boy, you're going to be looking at the waves. And then you can see the big rainfall. That's really the big issue for central areas of Japan with this area, as that's going to move past the Tokyo region by Friday afternoon. Definitely heavy precip in their forecast there too. So yeah, always do my best to keep you posted. Lots to talk about today, but I think the number one thing is that a heavy rain across the west coast of Luzon. Boy, plenty of it here in your forecast. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta. As always, if you have any questions or anything like that, I would love to hear from you. Don't forget, I'm not an official agency, but I do my best to try to relay that information in an easy to understand way so we can educate and kind of be better prepared just in case you do get some of that severe weather in your area. All right. As always, thanks for watching, and of course, stay safe out there, friends.